Hi everyone, welcome back to Timberline. Oh wait, that's Lindsay's intro.
Stop.
My intro is Hello America. So this is our four-part series. This is our four-part series of the old Hickory buildings that we're doing. Lindsay did the first two, and I drew the lucky straw to do the barn. So we're going to talk about the barn and some of the extra things that we had added to the barn to support the tractor weight and to be able to get the tractor in and out. They actually build these buildings as garages for vehicles, and this was basically that's what we had ordered. On this building, we had an extra window installed, and we got our nice little backwoods shutter here. And this one's changed a little bit and gotten sticky. Okay, well that ain't coming off right now. We just installed this one a few weeks ago, and it looks like it's for whatever reason wanting to stick, but I'll mess with that later. But we have a window behind that. The reason that we put these shutters up was if you see one of the videos, if you go down in our library, you'll see a video down there of when me and Cameron came up and had to nail boards up on the roof, and the snow is up to here. The snow comes off this roof and piles up next to the building, and we had about 4.5 to 5 feet of snow that year, and all that gathers on the roof, falls, and it's up on the building. So these shutters are designed to be functional, not necessarily super pretty, but to work to keep the snow from pushing up against these windows and breaking the glass. That window was an extra charge that doesn't usually come on the garages, but like Lindsay said in the prior videos, these are very customizable. And then we put this door on as well so that we have another entrance into the building. Now, honestly, we don't really use that entrance as much, but it is nice to have if we need to use it. So here's our barn doors. I'm sure that you've seen them before closed, but there's the Mahindra. There's our Mahindra in there. Now we did have to make these doors as tall as they were able to make them. That was another piece of customizable or custom request that we had, and as wide as they could possibly be. So that was in a little bit of an extra cost because I don't think they're quite that tall. I'm not sure if I can remember if they are or not when they sell these as garages or not. But the other thing that we did was we got the reinforced floor, and they have when they do the barn or when they do the garages, they have a certain level that'll store a certain weight of vehicle, and honestly can't remember what it is right off the top of my head, but we went with the double sheet and the extra 2x6s as floor joists to support the weight. And do you remember what the weight is, Lindsay? I think it was something per square foot for sure.
We'll put it in the description.
But it did support the tractor. We figured the tractor is around 6,000, and I think that the weight was right around 6,000. And we've had this since 2022, and no issues, absolutely no problems. The floor is in great shape, holds the tractor well, and gives us everything. Let's go take a look on the inside of the barn, what we've done in here. We're going to, like Lindsay mentioned in one of the other videos, we're probably going to put some kind of treatment down on the floor, either the deck paint, depending on how much we like that, or some of that garage stuff. But we just want to protect this floor. It's got dirt and water and snow and all that stuff coming in and out of it. We have a tarp down right now, which has been doing a great job of protecting it from water. But we definitely want the floor is everything. And so we want to keep this floor in as good shape as possible to keep the longevity of these buildings. So we put in some shelves, and we put in a rack over here for our axes and rakes and saws and the ladder and our shovels to store all that stuff, because we're trying to maximize our space, because everything we have is compact, we'll say. We got 2 lofts, and they told us we could do a 3rd loft right here if we wanted to, but we elected not to do that. But you can see I kind of store materials up there, so that's nice. I installed some shelves last year, and so we have a nice bit of shelving in there. And we installed a workbench. That was one of the very first things that we did. And there's our old broken window. But you can see that with the workbench, the tractor with the blade on, and throughout the summertime, we don't usually have the blade on there because we got the Speeco. So the Speeco makes it real easy to unhook and hook back that blade up. And when we first got the barn, and yes, we're calling it a barn. That's what we call it, America. Those are our cabins. This is our barn. Don't you dare call them sheds. These are our barns, our buildings. But when we first got it, we were storing everything in because it was too hard to take that blade on and off, and I'm using it all the time. So we would store it in here. But now that we got the quick hitch, we just leave that down on it, and we have the implement tier, which we did last fall. We just leave all of our implements down on that implement tier, including the bucket. And there's a lot more room in here. It's very roomy without these two implements in here. But it does. We measured it out. We ordered it at this size on purpose. It was the maximum size we could get without having to have a building permit. And it was just perfect for a compact tractor. So if you're getting a compact tractor that's probably in the 40 horsepower and down, 40 is going to be pushing it because that starts to change the size of the tractor. But if you're definitely hitting in the 30s, 30 horsepower, you will be able to store, and this is a 10 by 20 building. And so you'd be able to store a tractor with a bucket and a rear blade on it inside of one of these old Hickory buildings. And for me, this is an important piece of equipment, an expensive piece of equipment. And I didn't want, of course, it's a tractor and the implements, they could all just sit outside if that's what we wanted to do and just let them sit outside. But I wanted to protect this stuff. I want to make this go as long as I can. And I know tractors go forever, but I wanted to keep it in as good shape as possible. So this barn was definitely a necessity for me. It was the first thing that we got because it was the most important thing. I wanted to protect the tractor and I wanted to keep it in good shape. And that'll be it on our building series. Got the dogs having a little wrestling match there. And big surprise, the Golden Retriever's not doing good against the German Shepherd. Dresa, that's too much. He's a mean dog sometimes. You know how them girls can be.
Hey.
Anyways, till the next time, America, back at you. Wow.